Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Sonoket special edition. Now, today is that glorious day that we all wait for when the Steam page is no longer accessible at 10 a.m. every single day. Yes, that's right, it's the Steam Summer Sale. It started today. Now, what I wanted to do was show you guys a list of some games that I've personally really enjoyed, so we're not going to waste any more time. Let's get right to it. 7 indie games you probably never heard of, but are worth your time to pick up. So the first game on our list is a game called Chippy. Now, Chippy is a twin-stick bullet hell shooter, but what makes this different than other games is that you actually destroy pieces and parts of the bosses as you're fighting. So as you're shooting any of these bosses, you may decide to move over to the side and shoot through an arm or a leg or any of that, and once you get through that entire piece, you could knock off an entire chunk of the boss and save yourself a ton of time on killing them. All the while, you have to be dodging all of these bullet hell kinds of shots, you have to get out of the way, you have to survive, and you can only ever be hit once. Now here's the really cool thing here. All of the footage that I've shown you so far is actually just replays because they have a global leaderboard system in which you can see how other people are actually playing these bosses and setting these record times. Really cool game, normally $14.99. Our second game on the list is called Aggelos, or Aggelos, I'm not actually sure. It's an action RPG that's kind of 16-bit. It's a throwback to all the games on the SNES era. You have all of this action combat, you have a pretty deep RPG system, you have levels, you have equipment. You can grind and buy new gear in the shop. You can tackle the main quests and explore all the different areas. This game has a ton of secrets and a pretty robust storyline as well for this kind of a game. Many of the bosses and mobs can be very, very challenging. It's going to take you a couple of times to be able to knock them out. So don't be afraid to die, here and there. The game is definitely punishing, but it's fair. You'll be picking up new abilities and powers along the way to be able to access new areas. And again, tons of secrets here all over the place, so make sure you're exploring every little area that you can. Aggelos is normally sold for $14.99. Our third game on the list is called Eastshade, and this is probably the most unique game on the list. The closest thing that I can compare it to is if you had Skyrim without the combat, and it was all about exploration and doing quests for people. You'll wander around the island talking to people, getting quests, exploring all the different areas, as well as painting sceneries. That's the key thing in this game, is you're actually a painter. You're exploring this island because your parents had been there at one point in time, and you're trying to re-experience how they grew up and what they knew. And so you walk around and you experience it through painting things and talking to the natives. Now, a lot of the voice-acted voices are pretty good.
My great-great-grandparents built this lodge. It's held up pretty well, I'd say.
But there are a couple that are a little bit suspect. But besides that, the game is beautiful, it's great to wander around in, it's just very calming, and it's one of those few games that you don't need action in, you don't need to be killing monsters. You can just wander around, explore, enjoy the area, and just have a good time. Eastshade is normally $24.99. So our fourth game on the list is called Ghostory, and it's a game where you basically play a little boy who drinks from a lake and gets turned into part human, part ghost. Ghostory is a puzzle platformer where you need to switch between two modes, your human mode and your ghost mode, in order to get to different areas and then collect the keys and get out of these caves. The catch is, when you switch to ghost mode, you drop your backpack, and when you come back to your human form, your backpack is the only way that you can carry all of the keys and the different things you pick up, so you have to leave your backpack in key places, switch to a ghost, access platforms that you normally couldn't, and come back and make sure you're getting that and progressing forward. The puzzles start out easy enough to solve, but once you get to the later game, they could take you tens of minutes to be solving. The game is also full of puns, which some people like, some people don't, but that's fine. You can pick up Ghostory normally for $7. Our fifth game on the list is called Starman Tale of Light. Now, Starman is a really slow-paced, kind of minimal puzzle game where you can kind of relax to the ambient music, take it slow, it's low impact, it's just a casual, super relaxing game to play. The puzzles range from super obvious in the early game to definitely very, very challenging in the late game. This game came out a couple years ago by a very small studio. Doesn't have a lot of press right now, but I would highly recommend it. It's just a fun, relaxing game to play, and it's only $6. Our sixth game on the list is a game called Zombotron that came out a little bit earlier this year. It's an action shooting platformer that has deep RPG elements as well. So you're going to find and equip different gear, different weapons. You're going to progress through the stages, taking out every alien that you can see in your path. Where you're aiming on enemies does actually count, so headshots may actually instant kill enemies, whereas body shots are going to do less damage. The stages are difficult and trying. You're going to die often when you get slammed by a lot of different mobs at the same time. Death is fairly frequent, especially when the stages can collapse and kill you pretty much instantly, but the game is challenging and fun. It's very lighthearted as well, with the silly storyline that you can check out if you happen to hop into it. Now, Zombotron is normally $15. So our last title on the list is called Courier or the Crypts. The game is fairly straightforward. You explore each of these different areas in a crypt in which you've become lost, and you have to use your torch in order to see where you're going. Now, the thing is, your torch is running out. You have a limited time to use your torch to explore these different areas, and you have limited resources to be able to regain torch fuel. And so you have to be very cautious about how you're spinning it, where you're going. There are enemies that will attack you if you turn your torch out, attack you if you have your torch on, so you have to do a balance. The secrets in Courier the Crypts, I kid you not, are some of the best hidden secrets I have ever experienced in a game, where I have spent hours on a single stage trying to find all of them, and it will tell you at the end of the stage if you found them all or not. The really challenging thing about this game is, if you run out of your torchlight when you're exploring a stage, it is instant death. So you need to manage your torchlight carefully and move through these stages cautiously. It is definitely a very measured and slower game. Courier the Crypts is normally $19.99. So there you have it. There are 7 games, 7 great indie games that I really hope you guys will check out during the Steam Summer Sale. And again, hopefully some of those or all of them will be on sale so you can pick them up at a reduced price. I'm going to get this video out as soon as possible so you guys can just hop on those quickly as you can. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Enjoy talking to you guys. And until next time, burn bright, everyone.